Anime Expo just introduced a change to their Artist Alley system, and a lot of artists are not happy. So we have this tweet that was made by Twitter user Arvalis, who goes by RJ Palmer. So RJ writes, Anime Expo is getting rid of table rebooking for artists in favor of a lottery system. This is devastating to those of us that depend on this event for a significant portion of our livelihoods. Please let them know this change is a bad one. So this is an email that was sent out to Artist Alley participants, and it reads, Dear Artist Alley participants, we are writing to inform you of an important change regarding two of our long-standing Artist Alley programs, the rebooking program and the veteran program. So also for some context here, I did some research. I myself have never tabled at an event, but I have friends who do, and I have friends who've tabled at Anime Expo multiple times. So they have 3 different systems to get in depending on how much you've tabled with them. Their veteran program is if you have tabled at Anime Expo 10 times, then you get on their veteran list. You basically are automatically given access every year to purchase tables. And again, this is all with my online internet research. Their rebooking program is if you have already tabled with them once, then you get early access to get a crack at the table. Not as early as the veteran people, but you get early access, and it works first come, first serve. Then for all new artists at Artist Alley, you apply and you go through a jury system where they have a panel of jurors that will look at your artwork and approve or deny you. So those are the 3 systems. And the email continues, after careful consideration and a thorough review of how we can best support our diverse and dynamic Artist Alley community, we have made the decision to retire both the rebook and veteran programs, effective starting this upcoming Anime Expo 2025. I plan on going, by the way. These programs have been instrumental in recognizing the commitment of our returning artists, and we are deeply grateful for the contributions of all who participated over the years. However, as we continue to evolve and adapt to the needs of our community, we believe that this change will allow us to explore new ways to support all of our participants and offer a more inclusive experience for everyone. As we move forward, we are excited to announce that we will be adopting a new lottery system for Artist Alley registration. This system will ensure a fair process for both returning and first-time artists, offering everyone an equal chance to secure a spot in the event. Further details regarding the new lottery system will be shared soon. We understand that these changes may raise some questions, and we want to assure you that we remain committed to supporting all of our artists. If you have any questions or would like further clarification, please feel free to reach out to us at artistalley@animeexpo.org. Warm regards, Anime Expo Show Management. RJ continues, at Anime Expo, I ask you to please reconsider this. Not only does this screw over artists like myself who has sold at the event for 10 years, so getting the veteran status that automatically guarantees them in every year as long as they would choose to purchase a table, but this screws over the public who expect certain artists to be there. This will lead to a far lesser experience for everyone involved. A lottery system also fully opens the doors to AI slop sellers getting in. This is just an extremely terrible idea. And people online are extremely divided about this, where again, a lot of sellers who have the veteran badge, where they're favored in the system, getting guaranteed every single year, are very upset that this system is now opening the doors. So the veteran system and the rebooking system is going to be removed, essentially evening the playing field for everybody. And there are small artists who are like, oh, this means that we will get more of a chance, So they're actually happy about this. And there's a third party group that is concerned about the first 2, but also because it's a lottery system that will allow a lot of potential AI art slop to sneak in where good artists' places might be taken as a result. In my opinion, all sides are valid. If you are an established artist who has been selling at Artist Alley in Anime Expo for 10 years, you have been there for a really long time. Not only is it a historical moment for you, it's probably a really regular event that you've come to know and love and expect and are very excited for every single year, and it is likely a huge chunk of your income. A lot of artists who make content online talking about their convention experience, their tabling experience, they almost always cite Artist Alley as being the biggest moneymaker event for them of the year. So it would really impact your finances every single year if you as an artist heavily rely on your income from in-person sales, except you can't guarantee whether you're going to get into this event or not. So I can completely understand that frustration there. I can also completely understand from the side of small artists, you want to be able to get into an event like Artist Alley because it could be a huge game changer for your career. A lot of small artists make a lot of money at Artist Alley. They get the connections from meeting other artists there, meeting their fans, the people who love their art for the very first time in person. It is an amazing, notable, and heartwarming experience that every artist should get. So I do agree that it's nice that there's going to be more opportunities for new artists or artists who haven't vended at Artist Alley before to get a crack. So I can see it coming in from both sides. I, as a consumer, because I've gone to Anime Expo the last 3 years, for me, I do resonate with what RJ said too, where it screws over to fans who expect certain artists to be there every year and then now you don't know anymore, right? I have some artists that I love and I know they're there every single year because they're veterans. They're always there. I can expect them every single year. I always am so excited to go buy their art. And yeah, if I know that I'm not guaranteed to see them, I'm not going to be very happy attending Anime Expo. I still will be happy, but not as happy. You know what I mean? So Flipsy writes, what about new artists that are trying to make art their livelihoods? Do they deserve less of a chance at a table because they were born later than you? Because again, like you had to have tabled for 10 years. 10 years ago, I was 14 years old. Yeah, I legally would not have been able to vend at Artist Alley. And RJ writes, they let hundreds of new artists in every year. Artists have never been guaranteed a rebook. They offer limited rebook slots on a first come, first serve basis. And Aaron's Ocean writes, veteran here. Veteran spaces were never limited, nor were they first come, first serve. Every veteran who wanted a space was guaranteed one. Sometimes I even booked at the last minute and still got a table. Not only that, we took up half the alley. We should be more transparent. And RJ says, yeah, the veteran program should indeed be dissolved. That's not what I was referring to though. Because again, there's 3 different systems, right? There's the rebook program for people who have vended before, but not 10 times. The veteran program, if you have vended 10 times, and everybody else. KT writes, everyone making this about new artists getting a spot are missing the point. There should be a jury process to ensure artists are at a professional level and have sellable work. It's a disservice to new artists to have them table if they just aren't there yet. And RJ says, yeah, this exactly. They have up to now done a very good job of both bringing back returning artists and filling out the show with new talent. It's easily the best artist alley I've been to in terms of level of art quality and table presentation. I do not think it will be with a lottery. I personally agree too. I've been to many artist alley maker events, things like that, where artists gather to sell their stuff. And I personally would have to say that Artist Alley has the best tabling experience or like layouts in my opinion. Last year, oh my god, somebody had like a whole vending machine on their table that they built. That was absolutely insane. If I somehow find a picture of it, I will stick it in there. But it was crazy, crazy, crazy professional and amazing and just gorgeous. And it's that level of care that people put into for Anime Expo. I'm not saying that the artists don't care about other venues, but it costs money to build a setup that elaborate, and they can do it for Anime Expo because they will recoup all their costs and more because of how much profit Anime Expo would generate. Some other cons, whatever, for the artist alleys, it's a really big coin flip as to whether you're going to make your money back, etc. And Katsi K says, is it not good for giving newer artists a chance to have this income? And RJ says they have already had hundreds of spots available to new artists every year. And Jingji Art says AI plagiarism, art theft, multiple studios and artists applying and securing multiple tables with proxies. What else could go wrong? I wonder if they decide to change it because of how many plagiarists have slipped through the cracks. And RJ says, I sure hope they reverse course. So I can see both sides, right? A lot of small artists have the sentiment, oh, we should be allowed more into Anime Expo's Artist Alley so that we can have a crack at making this income. Because again, it is notorious that people at Anime Expo make a lot of money. But I would also say because of Anime Expo's Artist Alley reputation and it being known for being an extremely high quality artist alley, there is a level of quality that artists should be able to meet in terms of a tabling experience in order to succeed in Anime Expo, because there are so many tables at Anime Expo. It is the entire Kentia Hall down in the basement, and it literally takes me like 2 days to make it through the artist alley because I stop at every single table and look at it because of how densely packed in there, like sardines it is, with like the poor CO2 quality and all of that stuff. You are competing against the best of the best to get the customer's attention to buy things. So it is your first convention you're applying to. Artist Alley is going to be probably extremely overwhelming for a new artist to vend at, and that it would be much better to kind of get experience at smaller local events so you can kind of get the hang of things and grow your experience selling, and also be able to kind of get a more elaborate like table setup. So because it's like a crow thing, like how crows like shiny things catch their eye, etc. Because there's so many shiny flashing things, people building actual vending machines, right, that you're gonna have to go above and beyond to grab attention. And if you're like table spread can't kind of match up to that, it might be harder for you to make money. You may not make as much money as you might think you would, just for being there. Like being in the Artist Alley at Anime Expo is not a guarantee you're going to be rich. It will definitely open a lot of doors though. And I do agree. I do really think that small, newer artists should be given chances. And again, it's not fair they have this veteran system where you needed to vend for 10 years. It's not like 10 years in a row because not every year can you get in. So maybe it'll take somebody like 12 years to get that veteran status. 13 years ago, I was 11. I cannot compete against those people because literally I was a child 10 years ago. So Yeah. It does even out the playing field for people that were born later. And yeah, with my other sentiment that I was saying, here we have Tony Law writing, if you're in the circuit and travel to sell, you always see new artists from their local towns. You encourage them to keep it up. But for some, you can tell they're not quite ready for AX. It's a different level. And if they get into AX too soon, they will get wrecked mentally. And RJ says, yeah, Anime Expo is a monster show to prepare for. It really is the Artist Alley big leagues. Easy Star writes, I was just looking into how Comic Cat ran things, another extremely huge convention, right? Considering they're space constrained and there's a huge amount of talent that would love to get in. Sure enough, tables have been apportioned through a lottery since 1979. Not gonna bat for Anime Expo's overlords, but I'm not sure there's a perfect artist admission system that isn't going to annoy certain groups. And I agree, you can't make everyone happy. The stuff that would cater to larger artists, smaller artists will be unhappy about. Stuff that caters to smaller artists, larger artists probably will likely be unhappy about it. And here are some other people's opinions. We have Trashny, who made their own post about this, writing, I'm very disappointed with the new Artist Alley system for Anime Expo. I am worried that a lottery will allow for AI slop and art thieves to easily take up space talented creators deserve. I mainly go to Anime Expo for Artist Alley. Me too, actually. And this makes me hesitant to attend going forward. Parky Part writes, anyone who's concerned for Anime Expo Artist Alley changing their policy to lottery because of AI slop and proxies getting in, valid. And by the way, for proxies are people that sell in place of the artist. So it's not like when an artist gets a helper, the artist is at Artist Alley, but they're really popular, so they get two other people to help them. And then maybe one of the days they're wandering the con floor when the helper is selling, but the artist is still there somewhere. But a proxy is when the artist is not there at all and they hire somebody else to literally go in their stead to go and sell. So it kind of feels like a little some type of way. I get the artist wants to make money, but at the same time, like me as a loyal con goer that loves Artist Alleys, a huge joy that I get from attending Artist Alleys is meeting the artist that makes the art that I really like as like a little meet and greet, And so not being able to get that because there's just a bunch of proxies always feels a little bad. Again, not against helpers, because I want artists to get their bathroom breaks, eat food, wander around the floor. But when they're literally never there, because with the helpers, I'm like, oh, where's so-and-so? And they're like, oh, they're like wandering the con floor for today or they took off early, but they'll be here tomorrow. And I'll be like, well, I have a 3-day ticket, so I'll be here tomorrow. But yeah, when they're not there at all, then it's like, oh. And Part continues, anyone who's complaining that is a veteran because established artists are going to be given the same chance as others need to stop. I've been trying to get into Anime Expo for years. I'm an established tattoo artist. I make my own merch. I table at cons. I get rejected every year. This might give me the opportunity to finally get in. And if people are mad because people like me get the chance, I don't know what to tell you. I am concerned about AI getting a pass because of this, though, that I can agree on. But there shouldn't be anything else in this conversation, in my opinion. Give new artists and artists who get rejected because of the veteran rule a chance too. But yeah, the general sentiment about this change is a lot of fear in how it will actually be implemented due to the whole AI thing. Because it's a lottery system, people are a bit concerned about how this lottery system is going to be implemented. Is it absolute straight lottery where literally everybody gets applied, gets thrown into the same batch, and it's just randomly pulled? Because in that case, proxies, AI slop, whatever, are likely going to squeak their way through. If there is a system where everybody who applies gets pre-vetted in some way, and then the vetted people then go into the lottery, that would make it more fair, where we would filter out all the AI crap, and then all the genuine artists, the creatives, will have a fair shot at making it in. And the final concern is the jury system. People are 50-50 about the jury system. Some people feel like the jury system, the original one they had, was really fair, right? Because you have a panel of humans judging artwork. Other people felt like the jury system isn't fully fair because even though you do have a panel of people reviewing the artwork, they may be biased towards certain styles of art that you may not really dabble in. So if you don't work in the medium or style they prefer, you just might get rejected based on a biases that you don't even know. And allegedly, the juror panel changes every year too. So people are really up in arms about it. And I'm curious about your thoughts on this situation. Are you an artist that has tabled at Anime Expo's Artist Alley? What was your experience? What are your thoughts on these changes if you're an artist, if you're trying to get into Anime Expo? I would say for me, as an artist and somebody who loves consuming art at Artist Alleys, and I buy a lot of art at Artist Alleys, I want artists to be treated fairly. I hate seeing AI, like when I'm walking by and I see an AI booth and I'm like, ugh, move on. But it would just really run down to how they implement this and whether there's protections taken to ensure that people aren't like mass buying the tables like corporations that is, and AI is not seeking through. So if it could be implemented in a way that is fair, we can see, right? Anyways, if you like this video, I appreciate if you like and subscribe. I also have a coffee in which I have like emotes and stuff for free, and I have a lot more on my Etsy shop, which I do sell them, like digital emotes, things like that for your streams. I also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. So I hope to catch you guys there or in another one of my videos. Peace.